Hello, hockey fans of all ages, shapes, and sizes. I'm still a little bit COVID chunky, but getting there. We're dropping the weight, doing a lot of bartending and walking around. I'm getting my 20,000 steps in a day and setting up kegs and, running around, food running and mixing some Caesars, Canada's great drink. Anyway, what do I want to talk about today real quick is the Sharks prospects. Now, Quentin Musty looked amazing in the Sharks prospect scrimmage, and I think he's come back to earth a little bit, playing against bigger boys and in the NHL. So he's got I think a 2 to 3 year probably timeline before he's fully grown, and I think he's just 18 years old. So that pick, he's going to be a future top 6 power forward. He's a big hitter, big attitude kind of guy. He's going to be awesome for the Sharks in a few years on the wing, and I believe he was first overall pick. And that pick for Timo Meier could end up being a steal of the draft. I think the Easton Cowan thing for Toronto, that kid looks really good. So a lot of people were miffed by that pick, like, who the heck is this guy? And he's turned out really, really well. So basically, the other guys I wanted to talk about are Henry Thrun. Oh my God, that guy is really impressive. I've seen a few videos going up on YouTube for scrimmages, like people hanging out at Textiu or whatever, Barracuda's home rink, and getting some clips there. And man, he looks good with the puck. A couple goals the other night. It's going to be hard to hold him off the lineup. Muka Madulin as well too. I've heard a lot of great things. He's a big body. I could still see Thrun starting just from a waivers exempt standpoint. But man, that guy is making a case for the NHL. He looks so good against all the other younger guys. Speaking of good, William Eklund looks so freaking fast out there. I think he makes the NHL for sure this season. He's been a long time coming, so wow, look at my hair, it's beauty. I'm getting the free chair going again. So yeah, he looks insanely fast. Fabian Zetterlund, man, that guy looks awesome off the half wall, very explosive. I think he worked on his first 2 to 3 steps in the off season, as did Hurdle and some other guys. Hurdle looks a lot leaner. I'm sitting here wondering what's going on with Couture, my guy Clutcher. I don't know, what is he gonna get traded? Are the Leafs gonna potentially want to trade Cowan or Nylander to the Sharks? I seem to only talk about the Sharks and the Leafs, but yeah, it was cool. Go Jumbo at Joe Thornton Arena in St. Thomas, my hometown. It was so cool that I'm sure my buddies, maybe my dad and some of his buddies went to the game, I don't know, back in St. Thomas there. So cool to see the pros in Jumbo's barn. I think that's it for today. There's a couple other guys, I guess. Thomas Bordeleau, he's a big question mark. I think he's got a chance if Couture misses any games of the regular season. I think he's got a chance to pop into the second line and in behind Hurdle and maybe see what he can do. I know there's Granlund as well too that'll probably compete, but who knows? Maybe it would be like a Sharks junior prospect line. It would be like Bordeleau, Eklund, and Gushchin or something. That's another guy that's been really impressive, and I really want to see what he can do. And then long term, you got Will Smith, the Fresh Bay Prince, and Philip Beestead. So I think we're still Sharks fans. Temper your expectations. We're still 2 to 3, maybe 4 years away from our window opening up, but the full rebuild is in play. Really anxious to see what my guy Carlson does this year, EK65. I'm very interested to see what Edmonton does, if anything. before their season. They're kind of a lock to be a contender, as is Vegas. And then I'm still going with my Leafs for the Cup. I think they should make the final. They got all that grit, all the muckers and grinders in the bottom six. Greggy's there now. Who knows if they pull the trigger and try to grab Ferraro or one of these other Toronto guys who would, block a million shots in the playoffs or whatever. Maybe even a Vlasic, who knows if he'd want to go to Toronto or not to win potentially a Cup. I think this is Toronto's year in the next, before Marner's contract's due. He's a huge question mark for 2 years from now. And I think if they're going to, I hate that own rental thing, but if William Nylander plays out the season, I think they should really pull the trigger, because they literally, I've done the math, and they can't afford Nylander's new contract with Matthews' new contract and all these other guys. They won't be able to afford Nylander anyway. So you either play it out with him and he moves on, or maybe trade him for a defenseman, and maybe you trade Easton Cowan for a defenseman if you want to hang on to Nylander too. So we'll see what happens. Go Sharks, go Leafs, go.